Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Caveman Corner. Your host, Jeff.
Captain Caveman!
Dan.
Hey, how's it going, fight fans? Ray's getting a little bit better at that. The first one was better, but pretty good. We're back.
I'm not feeling too good, but,
It's going. He's practicing his car the whole time, Adam.
He don't feel too good. What's wrong? Diarrhea.
Oh, man. You guys are brutal.
I'm just kidding, Ray.
No, he's not.
I'm just kidding, man. He's had diarrhea since Easter's.
It hasn't gone away for him. So we have with us Adam Guerra. How you doing, Adam?
I'm alive. I'm breathing. And I'm good. I could be better though.
Yeah, how's that? How could you be better? Ray's not having diarrhea. Probably you feel better.
Well, I tell you what, guys. The world of combat sports lost a very special person yesterday, and that was my boxing coach. He took me on. My dad was his third grade teacher, and he took me on for my last two fights for Japan and Mexico, and that opened the doors for him to work with people like Jorge Macaco Patino, Chris Cyborg, and other good athletes out of Houston. He also worked with Cyborg's ex-husband, the original Cyborg guy, Bobby El Jefe Flores. He was an outstanding boxing coach, but also a close brother to me and a great friend, somebody who was down and always had my back.
Oh, man.
We lost him to a massive heart attack, and he was only 38 years old, guys.
Oh, man.
Sorry to hear that.
Sorry to hear that.
Today's Ray's birthday, and he's like 40 years old, so it's good he's still with us.
Yeah, well, Ray, we got a lot to be thankful for.
Oh, yeah.
Ray's beautiful wife's going to kill him because I got him out late. But I did buy him some a cannonball.
So hopefully, I give it to her and she calm down.
Yeah. You're going to give it to her? You're going to re-gift my gift?
I let her have some,
All right. Let her have some.
Put her to sleep or something,
That's for men to be men for men. That's not a give it to your girl kind of gift.
I'm not going to. I let her have some and she bitch at me. Like, shut up. Drink this.
All right.
Or you could say it how Mexicans would. Shut the fuck up, man.
We got the right music for this show.
Damn, Donald Trump's creeping in, ain't he?
Yeah. Pretty soon that wall's coming up. You better look out.
You saw what Mickey
feel the
post
wall coming.
Mickey posted that Facebook that he gonna. Me and you came, man. We're going over the wall.
Yeah, we gotta go over the wall.
Mickey, crazy.
I got white privilege going on. I think I'm okay still.
Mickey, he's crazy.
All right. So did you catch the UFC this weekend?
I did. It was, a lot of people think that when, they climb in that octagon, they're in there by themselves. But in reality, it's a duel between the athlete and the coach. You got to be able to coexist together. And what I saw was no adjustments being made. So I blame that on the coach first, and then I blame that on the athlete as well. So, yeah, I watched it. I watched a lot of errors. That's what I watched.
Well, let's start at the bottom of the card, and we'll talk about one of my favorite guys, Mike Pyle. Didn't have such a good night. He came out and he fought Alex Garcia. What did you think about that fight?
Man, Mike Pyle's a veteran. He's a lot tougher, I believe, still, even though he's, up there in age for a fighter.
He's 41.
That guy's really tough. I remember Benji Radek telling me how tough that guy was and how hard he hits, and he's just he's an amazing guy, I mean, has he cracked the top 10 yet?
I don't think so, man.
No, and I mean, that guy, Alex Garcia, he beat Mike Swick, and Mike Swick's a tough kid. You know, that says a lot about Alex Garcia too.
He's got some pop in those hands. I honestly thought like Mike Pyle was going to be able to slow him down for first couple rounds, and eventually he'd succumb to the younger fighter. But man, he had a hard time dealing with him, and he's such a veteran. I figured he'd be able to stand on the feet with him a little bit better than he managed to.
Yeah, Garcia's he's a tough kid, man. Like, I don't know. And Mike Pyle still, who's he with? Robert Follis still?
I'm pretty sure he's still there.
Out at the Couture camp?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing what some of these guys, you know, they're, I don't know, Couture's camp, you know, there's not a lot of named guys out of there anymore, but, you know, Mike Pyle's been around for how long?
I don't know. He's been a long time WEC champ, you know, goes way back. 41 years old, he's been fighting a long time.
Yeah, he's a tough dude. He's already 41. Good God. Why do guys want to fight that long for? Does that mean Ray's got himself a few more fights in him?
For sure. I'm older than Ray. I got a few more in me still.
Yeah, I still got some in me. I still got fights in me. For sure.
We can get Ray back.
You know, I'd like to say I got one more in me, but man, I don't know. You know, just takes so much time away from the other kids.
Yeah, that's tough once you're.
And I know that my body doesn't act the same no more. So it's, I don't know. It's kind of.
Speaking about getting older, do you think it's time for Mike Pyle to retire, or do you think he should continue to fight if he wants to?
You know, he could fight if he wants to, but I can tell you from his just watching some of that guy's experiences, I believe that guy could be a hell of a coach one day.
I think so too.
He's worked with some of the top guys.
His scrambles on the bottom are phenomenal too.
I think, you know, if he wanted to be a coach, I mean, you know, everybody that plays this game, you know, at one point or another, they're going to have to find something to do because, you know, you can only fight for so long.
Do you think they should make some kind of league for these older fighters, like the bigger name fighters, and just have the old guys fight the old guys, so they don't have to have these stompings by the younger up-and-comers?
No, I only say no, and I say it respectfully no, because you're going to have all these other guys talking shit.
Yeah.
Oh, what the hell are they letting these guys fight for or whatever, you know? And it's sad because a lot of these guys, you know, they've paved the way.
For
they
sure.
made the sport, you know, they gave it a chance to become what it is today. You know, I respect all that, you know, the older fighters and whatnot. And some of these kids, like we talked about before, they don't have respect. They need it beat out of them.
Yeah.
Hey, Adam, we need you to come out here. We got some kids like that here.
I tell you what, they don't want to be in a training room with me because they're going to think twice about being jackasses.
Along those other lines, I was just saying, when Ken Shamrock and Royce Gracie fought, I was excited. I really wanted to see that fight. And there's some of the other older guys that I'd still like to see fight each other that never got the chance to during their careers.
Right.
Well, I saw the Royce Gracie Ken Shamrock fight live because I had a guy on the card. And let me just say this. That was one of the most disappointing fights I've ever seen in my life. I mean, you know what? I could care less what either one of them think of me for saying this, but that was a trash fight. I mean,
I think that's why you need to separate it from like a UFC style event where they're still promoting like real fighting. Obviously, these fights are more of a sideshow kind of thing, but there's a lot of people.
It was because I mean that knee to the balls. There was no knee to the balls, and then the knee that Royce threw that knocked Ken down. That was phantom, you know.
Hey Adam, let me ask you this: what was the worst fight? The Kimbo and what's the other guy?
Takada 3000 or whatever.
Yeah, some crap like that.
Oh, Takada and Data 5000.
Yeah.
You know that was some bullshit. You know how you know all these people that get popped doing roids, or all these people that get. Here's what I think. That fight should have never happened because didn't they say Kimbo needed a heart replacement?
Yeah.
How do you pass a physical to go fight then?
I guess your Kimbo Slicing are selling 100,000 seats, so they don't really care what's wrong with you as long as you get out there and fight.
But now look, he's no longer with us.
Right.
You know, he's gone. I mean, this makes no sense. It ain't worth it. The guy could probably still be alive here with his family, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to take a step back, man. You know, you got a problem like that, yeah, he could be there for his son. Man, you know what? My boxing coach, he used to box, you know, and he's a hell of a coach. But I know he'd rather be here with his kids, even though that everything was total different circumstances. I don't know. Sometimes you got to put family in perspective first. Even for Dad at 5,000, man, for him to, I guess his heart stopped for a minute in the ring, in the cage. I don't know, but seeing those guys perform, Jeff, made me think, damn, I could go out there and be a superstar against those dudes.
That's how I feel too. I just think they can't waste time. The young and up-and-coming fighters and the guys that really matter, they shouldn't be losing their time for these older guys to fight. But there's still a demand to see them. But I'll let that sit, and we'll move on. What do you think about Magny versus Johny Hendricks? This one was a little controversial.
Well, let me ask you this, Jeff. What made you think it was controversial? What's your assessment on why it was controversial? And then I'll share mine.
Okay, well, I honestly thought that Magny didn't do enough from the bottom in the third round to take that third round. I thought Hendricks won the first, and then he lost the second, the one where he's in the triangle and he took all that damage. And then in the third, I felt like Magny gave up on the takedown to push the action. He got taken down, and although he got Hendricks in a triangle, Hendricks kind of rode him out for a long time, and there wasn't much going on. I really thought Hendricks probably stole the third. I can see why the decision went that way. I don't have a problem with it. But there's a lot of controversy going on along that fight, at least among my friends.
Well, you know what it kind of reminds me of? Like being in a jiu-jitsu tournament, and you're the guy on bottom. You're not doing a whole lot. You might have a person within your guard, or let's just say you got them from a headlock on the bottom. Hell, they're going to give you a win there. They're adopting too much of that type of stuff into the rules. And I don't call jiu-jitsu matches fights. I don't call wrestling matches fights, but you hear a lot of jiu-jitsu people call them fights, and I think that's ridiculous. The only time you're in a real fight is if you're doing K1 style or MMA. Then you got your reality stuff, which takes place out in the street. Those are fights. When you're hugging somebody trying to from the bottom with your arms or your legs, I mean, I don't think that's a fight. I don't think they should be giving you points for that stuff. I mean, I'm looking at it from a wrestler's point of view because, I mean, think about it. When you take somebody down, put them on their back, what happens there? You win or lose? You
should win depending on what's going on the bottom. I mean, I thought in the second round he had a deep triangle in, and he was elbowing him. He split him open. He did a lot of damage from the bottom.
But he didn't finish him.
He didn't finish him. But I thought he won a round. I thought he did more damage that round in the second. Do you disagree with that? Or?
Yeah. No. I'm with you on that.
Oh,
but
okay.
It kind of reminds me, too. It takes me back to something we talked about before. Do you think Boss Rutten won from the bottom against Randleman?
On that fight? Man,
yeah.
I don't think so. But
Boss never threw anything up. I mean, you're right, though. You could go, like you said, Magny, had him in a triangle. Boss never did anything like that to Randleman.
Yeah, and Magny split him bad with those elbows on the side of his head in the second round. He did a lot of damage. In the third round, Hendricks was real covered up. He's hitting his gloves. He wasn't doing any damage. It was more of a hang out in a triangle and hope you win kind of thing. And I really thought Hendricks needed that fight to continue on in his career, continue to move forward. But man, he looked pretty good, a lot better than he's looked in the last couple outings.
Oh, you think he's gonna retire?
Yeah, but psychologically, what do you think, Jeff, that does to him now?
Yeah, he might just hang it up. I think he was already talking about retiring, and once you start saying that, it's a short road to retirement. I think
that's true. A guy like Magny. He's younger, dangerous, and a guy like, Hendricks. He's already had his fame. He's already won his championship. I think he could have done more to hang on to something like that.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he
by way of discipline.
Right. I think he could do more ground and pound. He missed weight again too, on top of everything else,
which is very crazy. Like, how many chances do they got to give you, dude?
I know. They definitely need to change the way the weight cutting thing. If you miss weight, maybe they should start suspending you. I think, at least at this level.
They should have done something. Well, look at what the New York State Athletic Commission did to Kevin Gastelum.
Yeah, did you see
that? Didn't they suspend him?
They did suspend him, and then they let him off his suspension. They let him pay $2,000 to get off his suspension, so he was able to fight at the next UFC.
Wow.
That's some bullshit, right?
You need to stick by your rules.
Yeah, we live in New York, so the commission's like a big thing with me, and the way the commission's going, I'm not too happy with everything. But at least they're trying. They're trying to do stuff, and we finally have MMA here, so let it stay for a little bit.
Well, that's a good thing. Because you guys, man, I've been able to go out to New York before, and you guys got an amazing state out there.
Oh yeah, MSG.
Hopefully, yeah.
Fight should have been there the whole time.
I got to walk right in front of there. Yankee Stadium, even the old one.
Yeah.
Oh, if you ever
I don't know, you guys got.
We don't have too much.
Go ahead, sorry.
We don't have too much in Buffalo except for the falls, but you can come check that out.
We got
Niagara
pretty good
Falls.
food.
Yeah, we do got really good food.
Yeah, but I heard about the food, man. You can't. That's how a man lives. I heard you guys got some good food over there.
Oh, we do.
Yeah, you gotta get some chicken wings, buffalo wings. Out
Yeah,
there.
gotta get some buffalo wings and some Canadian beer. Be some good stuff. It's not like your Mexican beer down there.
Yeah, we got some.
You don't got to jump over a wall to get our beer. You just got to drive through a fence.
That's good. That's funny. But, yeah, so, I think Hendricks needs to probably, if he doesn't have the hunger and desire to make weight, that to me, and you've talked about retirement, not only are you doing yourself a disservice, but you're doing the fighter and the fans one too,
I think so
because,
too.
as a young man, when you're hungry, you want to fight somebody, you're going to give them everything you got. But when you're older and you start talking about, I don't want to fight no more, it's a dangerous sport. He's lucky that he got out of that second round.
He was in a lot of trouble. I really thought he was close to submitting, too. I mean, that triangle's pretty deep for a minute until he switched to the elbows.
I'm surprised they didn't finish him because Neil Magny's a tough kid.
He is tough. He's someone to keep our eyes on. I can't believe
I think a fight with him and Mickey Gall would be nice.
Yes. Yeah, that'd be a good fight. Ray doesn't even know what we're talking about. He's kind of zoned out right now. He's looking at Ashley Eterno's picture still.
No, I'm not. I look at the results. Let me see.
He doesn't even know what he's looking at. What did you think about the Ray Borg-Louis Smolka fight?
I looked at that fight a couple of different ways. I saw where there could have been some finishes. They have great ground game.
Heck
but
yeah.
then again, while you're observing, I know that you probably seen this too, but you've seen some toe holds open up.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
you had to have.
For sure.
I was very shocked that neither one of them went, I don't know, but, the scramble was nice. I thought that their stand-up game looked really bad, though.
What did you think about Borg? I thought his stand-up looked a lot better than it's looked in the past. And I thought Smolka looked a lot worse than he's looked on the feet.
I agree with you, but here's the thing. Do you think that some of these fighters actually split their time of training up, and work on their stand-up that 1 hour of the day and then work their ground and their, conditioning and strength training, etc.? Somebody, I think it was Jean-Claude Van Damme that said this. He said that a lot of the fighters in the UFC lack kicking skills.
I would agree with that. It's a dangerous sport to be kicking, though, if you're scared to be on the floor.
I agree with you, but you're there to take some chances to win, correct?
I think so, too. I thought Smolka had a hard time dealing with Borg's movement. It looked like Borg picked up the movement a little bit. He definitely had a lot better head movement this time, although he wasn't really...
You know what? You're right. You're right on that one. You're right on the money on that.
Because he just looked like he was stunned to see Borg moving like that. And I think it kind of diffused him a little bit. I really thought Smolka was going to be able to take it to him on the feet, to be honest with you.
True. But, I don't think he was expecting maybe some of the little bit of changes that the kid worked on.
Yeah, that head movement was big.
Yeah, you're right. I just, I still think that a lot of these guys are so green when it comes to some of their tactics still, like on their feet. I think I see more people, I don't know, I think it was Chris Brennan that said this once, that the level of jiu-jitsu's not at its peak, not at its best. And then the same could be said for strikers, because before when we were first fighting, a lot of this stuff was pure. Karate versus jiu-jitsu or judo versus wrestling or whatever. And now these guys, I think some of them are having a harder time advancing because they were talking about somebody working on their striking for a whole camp versus their ground game, I think on 207. Who was that?
I'm not sure.
They were talking about, your coach or your coaches have to split things up. You got to work everything, and I think you got to put decent work. Like, let's say, the head movement. that part right there. You're right. You know, he was harder to get hit.
What about?
I mean, you're right.
He said he thinks he broke his ankle in the second round. How do you think he performed? Borg broke his ankle in the second round. How do you think he performed in that third round? He's able to put him on the floor twice with a broken ankle, probably.
That's, man, you know, having injuries like that takes guts to gut it through a fight.
Yeah, I couldn't even really honestly tell watching the fight. But he said it in his corner in between the second and third rounds, and he talked about it after the fight as well.
Well, I tell you what, to finish a fight like that, you're one bad dude. Because, you know, broken ankles, that's no joke.
Yeah, that's a tough dude.
What do you think about? I think now in MMA there's a difference in striking too. I think there's that more flowy Dominick Cruz, TJ Dillashaw, move around a lot style versus the really the more flat-footed center punch kind of style too. And I think this fight is indicative of how UFC is going to start to become in the future. You're going to see guys move around, a lot more guys move around like Ray Borg was moving around tonight, even though they don't quite have the technique down correctly like like Dominick Cruz or TJ Dillashaw does. Versus guys that are going to stand there and try and bang with you like Louis Smolka. I think UFC is going through another evolution right now.
I think it is, but tell me this. Tell me if you disagree or agree with me. Like, you watch Dominick Cruz's fight. Yeah, he does all that movement, etc. Where's his power?
Right, he doesn't have a lot of power, but TJ Dillashaw has adopted that style as well, and he brings the power, I think.
You know... But when their feet are not set and they're throwing their punches, I believe they're losing at least 35% of their power.
Right, but you'll see Dillashaw sit down on his punches. Cruz never really commits too much. I mean, you've seen him a couple times and he was getting tore apart in the final. We'll get to it in a little bit, but I really think Dominick Cruz made that style to be loose and elusive and set up his takedowns, and now other guys are going to imitate it and make it better where you can add power to it. And I think Dillashaw is the next wave of that. My MMA coach Eric Herbert loves Dillashaw. He loves the way he sits down on his punches from that stances.
Yeah, that's you're right. I believe that's the difference between them two. I think honestly, like if you watch, I think Dillashaw is going to murder Garbrandt.
I thought Cruz was going to beat Garbrandt, so I'm not putting anything away from Garbrandt right now.
No, I didn't think he would. I knew that he would take him into deeper rounds. But as far as to beat him, I didn't think so because I think that one of the guys I used to train actually was one of Garbrandt's sparring partners. And, you know, he's good. I won't put his name out there, but very talented on his feet. And I thought that he was probably one of the difference makers in this camp for that fight. You know, he could read movement pretty good. So I think... I don't know. I think that'll be a good fight, though, for the fans.
Yeah, I think so, too. All right, next fight. Dong Hyun Kim, the stun gun versus Terrific Staffordine. This was another one I thought was kind of controversial as well. What do you think about this one? I'll let you go first this time.
Okay. I thought I can't pronounce his name right. I don't want to be a jerk. Tarek, is that his name?
Yep, Tarek.
Okay. I thought that he would throw more jabs and control the center of the octagon more. He did land one good foot sweep that I saw. I guess it's a Korean fighter, correct?
Yeah, Dong Hyun Kim.
Don't you call him the zombie?
Man,
yeah,
you know.
But his new name is a stun gun.
Oh, man, you know what? That fight was so boring.
I thought that fight was awesome. I love that foot sweep.
I started to yawn. I started to yawn during that fight.
I love watching guys. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say I love watching judo guys get foot swept. And when I see that happen, it just makes me excited. You know what I mean?
I thought that was funny as shit.
Yeah,
but
and it happened like 3 times.
The Koreans are not judo guys; they're judo guys with a Y.
You don't know.
We learned a little. Yeah, no, but they do judo. Look it up.
Judo?
I'm going to teach you something about martial arts, guys.
All right.
Okay. Judo. Yeah, but their sport, you know, you're right, though, Jeff. You know what? Seeing somebody get beat at their own game like that, to get swept like that, I thought that was pretty neat, too.
Yeah, I liked it. And I thought...
I was like, damn.
I thought Dong Hyun...
And he got...
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And then to get caught with that nice foot sweep, what was it, in round 1?
Yeah, right off the bat, too, man. He just whoop right to the floor.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, the takedown
Beautiful.
level from that fight, from the Borg fight to that fight, was like a big step up, I thought. And I thought
Sure.
I thought Tarek won the fight. I thought he landed more. I thought Dunghyun Kim was just throwing stuff everywhere. And although he was pushing the action forward, I don't think he was very effective. I thought Saffiedine won the first and the second, and I thought Kim took the third.
I thought Saffiedine was more technical than that guy for sure.
He was
I
definitely.
think he got robbed.
Yeah, I think he got robbed too. I like to see them fight again. Not really, because it was kind of boring, like you said, but I like to see the foot sweeps. And I thought Tarek got ripped off, man. There was some questionable judging, I thought, overall during the night, but
I'm with you on that. That's right.
What do you think about that? The guy that comes forward and tries to own a cage, even if he's getting beat up, do you think he should be winning or no?
No.
Yeah.
That's almost like the guy laying on his back.
Yeah, to me, it's almost the exact same thing. I was going to make that comparison, man. I love having a guy just like me on here. Except it keeps Ray pretty quiet because we both like to talk a lot.
Ray's learning something from us.
Oh yeah, I'm learning, and I didn't see last night card.
That's why me and Ray couldn't do it. We had to bring on an expert.
Yeah. So I just saw the last fight was Ronda fight, and that's it, like the 40 seconds.
Yeah.
And that was on
Is
Facebook.
that what you call that?
All right, we'll move on to Dillashaw and Lineker. What do you think about that fight?
You know something? TJ's ability to change levels from moving around like that on his toes. I don't know if you've... In my gym, I teach a system where you're on your toes all the time, going side to side, forward, very rare to go backwards. But then when you're changing levels like that as quick as he did on Lineker, that was amazing. I thought that was a solid job of able to put together footwork with a shot. You don't see that a whole lot.
No, he was really able
really
to
don't.
put his D1 wrestling
Most
skills
Most guys, you make them stay on their toes for 2-3 rounds, their legs are dead. This guy's hopping around, moving, shooting, taking him down anytime he wanted to.
He's got cardio for days, but Lineker's one of my favorite guys, too. I kind of hated to see this matchup. I really thought it was going to go down like this.
Let me tell you this, Jeff. If that fight would have went 5 rounds, Lineker would have won.
Man, I'm not sure.
Did you see him rip, though? Did you see him rip Dillashaw's body?
I did. I saw how bad it hurt Dillashaw, too, but I'm not sure that Dillashaw didn't take his foot off the gas. And then he just got a little bit caught. I think if it was 5 rounds, I think he goes that hard 4 rounds, and the 5th round's the same as the 3rd round. I don't think he just stands there flat and gets caught by Lineker. Although he can rip to the body and he can change the fight in one punch. He was so...
Yeah, that Lineker's got a lot of power in that right hand. I thought that it would have been more effective, but then again, that's your case right there of seeing a flat-footed fighter.
Yeah, it's hard to track down Dillashaw. Really hard. Him and Cruz, that fight was crazy. They were all over the place, but Lineker just doesn't have the footwork to stay with him. For a guy that started at 125, he probably hits like a 70-pounder, Lineker. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he brought his power with him, that's for sure.
He looks so frustrated. There's a guy at our gym that kind of has a similar style to him, Lineker, Frankie Scalzo.
Oh, Frankie?
Yeah, Frankie never gets tired either, just like Lineker did, but he couldn't just do too much. He just needs he's going to have to work on his bottom game, I think, a little bit. So he'll threaten from the bottom and get back up against guys like Dillashaw.
Well, I tell you what, man, I think the way that TJ moved in that fight was crazy good. I mean, he did a number on Lineker, especially when he got, in the side, or I'm sorry, in half guard on him. He destroyed him.
Oh yeah.
I mean, then he mounted him. He's mounting a black belt. It's not supposed to be happening.
No, Lineker, he was talking junk, and Dillashaw just kept hitting him. He wasn't intimidated. It didn't change his game. He was like, all right, you talk. I'm going to hit you, and I'm going to mount you, and now I'm going to try and finish you. Yep. 30-26 all around. You don't see that too often either. Everyone gave him a 10-8.
No, that's dominant.
Good fight. I think Dillashaw's going to probably be the next champ after Gambrandt, to be honest with you.
I believe that. I'm with you on that one.
Next up, Cody Gambrandt versus Dominick Cruz.
Well, like I said, there was a guy that's been in and out of my camp for the last 9 years that's over there, and I believe wholeheartedly that I know he gave him some tips. He sparred with Garbrandt, and if you ask me who's got the better of the two, even though I'm not there, and I hadn't talked to him, I guarantee you he put the hands down on Garbrandt. I mean, my guy, he was my guy for a long time. Like I said, and that kid is like 72-4, two-time, two-time Golden Glove champ, Silver Glove champ. I mean, just a very high decorated kid, and I'm sure that helped him a lot, because the kid knows how to move. Like I was telling you, side to side, around, very little backwards, and just moving, hitting the angle. So I'm sure that sparring with a guy like that was, I don't care if those guys over there at that little midget can't deny it, but I guarantee you my guy helped.
For sure. What do you think about Cody Gambrandt being able to find the distance and the timing of Dominick Cruz? He's the first guy that's really been able to hit Cruz over and over again. First time Cruz got dropped more than once in a round. I mean, he looked dominant. He was clowning him.
I'm telling you, the difference was, sparring with a guy like this helped. I believe it helped his timing a lot. I believe that wholeheartedly. I think that, when you got a guy like Cruz who likes to move, to somebody's right a lot, usually that's, if somebody's a power puncher from the right, that's usually a sign where you're walking into somebody's power. And I think Garbrandt was able to move off to that right and nail him more. That's what really knocked him down a lot. And then his ability to not let him, take him down.
Yeah, his stop.
And he was able to take down Cruz. He threw Cruz. Cruz met his maker.
That was a huge
styles or matchups.
Yeah, huge momentum shift when Cruz did his step by takedown. And he couldn't even. He put him down for like quarter of a second. Gambrandt popped up and tossed him off. Huge for the fight.
Oh yeah.
What do you think about Cruz actually getting tore up? Because Gambrandt was able to find him. Like the darts didn't affect the darts that Cruz does. He darts, he feints. None of that worked. Gambrandt tagged him up, and then he was trash talking. What do you think about that in the cage? The trash talking aspect of it.
Well, for me, I think that Cruz trash talked the wrong guy. Usually that trash talking you can get inside somebody's head, but I think what it did is made this guy just way more focused.
What did you think about Cruz after the fight when he came out and he's like, sometimes champions lose?
I believe Dominick Cruz was very, very heartbroken. That's what I think. I think he was very shocked. I'm pretty sure he still hasn't really mentally recovered from it. I mean, think about it. He said it himself. I built the house off of your teammates.
Yeah, I'm.
And now, but something. Let me tell you this: the coach that they have, he's coached how many rounds did he say against those guys?
A lot, a lot of rounds.
Okay, what does that tell you about that guy losing all those times? I don't believe. Again, I talked about at the beginning. This was a thing between coaches and athletes. How things were gonna. Some of the things I don't know. I don't think that Justin Buchholz is that great of a coach. I'm sure we'll see him down the road too. Once some of my kids that grow up in my gym, they're smaller guys, we're going to wind up tangling.
That's
if they stick it out with that guy, I don't think that he was better than Dwayne Ludwig.
No, he left. It was a big blow, I thought.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Buchholz is a step down from him.
What do you think about Cody Gambrandt as champion?
It won't be long reign.
I meant more as a person and ambassador to the sport.
I wouldn't want my son looking up to him.
Really? You don't think so? I don't know too much about him. I met him in the locker room at Pinnacle, and he was pretty respectful. And then the whole thing with that Maddox kid that he brings to the ring that beat leukemia, I just thought that was a good story.
Okay. That's cool and everything, but when you're in there hot dogging like that, what do we try to teach our people to be? Humble. Go out there and go fight. I don't care if you don't touch somebody's glove. Like, to me, that's fine. You're in there to do a job. But when you start acting like a jackass, think about it. How's your head going to be?
Yeah, the millennial thing with the Conor McGregor trash talking.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The only thing I give Conor is he's loyal to his team, his coach. That's one thing I give him. Because you know what? When things start to hit the fan, I guarantee you Garbrandt will be gone too.
Yeah, he's going to have the money coming in now. We'll see what happens.
He'll be gone. Yeah, that's going to happen, you know. Look, Joseph Benavidez left that team.
Yep.
You know, they've had guys leave to that Muscle Farm camp.
Yeah, Muscle Farm's taking everybody. Everyone they can get their hands on.
They are, that's for sure.
And then
but, you know, hey,
they're doing shitty over there, too. Like, they're not having a great track record.
Well, look at Matt Brown. Matt Brown went from being, a bona fide contender, beating Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, to making that interview. Wasn't he trying to take his own life?
Yeah.
He's lost how many fights in a row now?
I don't know without looking, but enough to
like
make a
2 or 3?
huge impact on his life.
Yeah, I mean, I don't agree that Muscle Farm was the right move for him. He should have stayed with Scott Shealy out there in Ohio, or stayed with Matt Hume.
I had my head instructor on the podcast. What do we have? About a week ago. He talked about like why leave the team that built you into who you are, and got you to the opportunity where you can go out and you can achieve these things. You can go somewhere else and you're not going to get the same support system, and everything's going to be different, and it's going to change who you are as a fighter.
That's true.
Nobody loyal no more.
So
The loyalty.
So let's go ahead and get to the main topic.
Yeah, I was figured we'd do all our talking before we get to here because there's not a whole lot to talk about. Amanda Nunes defeats Ronda Rousey by TKO, round 1, 48 seconds into round 1. What did you think about this fight?
Courtesy. Well, I think Count Chocula failed very miserably. Count Chocula ruined Ronda, like her mom said. You know, you can look pretty right in front of me, you know, throwing all your punches. What I have always seen is a flat-footed fighter, a person who's right in front of you. And I told my dad, before this fight happens, if she does that and stands at arm's length of this lady, she's going to get put on her butt again. You know, they've made no improvements for this girl. She needs a real trainer if she's ever going to fight again. If she don't fight, that's a horrible way to go out.
Yeah, 2 back-to-back brutal losses.
Like that, yeah, you know. I think Edmund Taverdin's a fraud. I call him Count Chocula, like a cereal box. You know, he's not a good coach, guys.
What do you think?
He's not. I mean, go look at him. Go look at him fight. He's not. Go Google him.
Yeah.
You'll see that guy fight. He looks like trash.
I'm saying that she's pretty loyal to him, at least, though.
Well, did you read that interview the other day of her strength coach while he left?
No, I did not.
You know, when they were doing the Ultimate Fighter and stuff, how he was such a jackass to everybody. You know, you can't be like that to everybody, man. That's not cool.
How do you think it plays into your mind as a fighter when your mom is calling out your head coach in national media?
Well, they say, you know, parents know best.
Yeah. Not only that, her mom's a high-level judoka. You know, she at least understands what's going on. PhD.
Yeah, the only thing I could see is mom could read that the coach was a fraud. She probably even took a look at some of his fights. Fights nothing like he tries to train, you know. He's a one-dimensional person, you know. There's a lot of that in MMA. You just got to be super careful with who you're messing with.
Yeah, I think loyalty's got to work both ways. I think if you're at the point where you can't help your fighter anymore, you need to tell them that as well.
You know, and a lot of these guys, too, they get to the point where, oh, okay, well, I'm on top. News has me here. I'm doing everything right. I don't need to change. Well, wrong, you know. He should have been bringing in long sparring partners for her. He should be, he doesn't know how to do stuff like that. His ego's too big,
right.
You know. Her ego's too big. They think they have this system down where they're just going to go out and beat everybody. Well, it don't work like that, you know. You got to make changes. You want to come along for the ride? Cool, but if you can't teach somebody to move. All right, let me ask you this question. Have either one of you guys ever gone out and hunted?
I don't hunt.
I don't hunt.
Ray hunts Burger King.
Well, this is an analogy I use. I killed my first deer yesterday, right? I killed a buck. I don't hunt either. I'm a city boy, but I'm out here in the sticks right now, and I have this rifle. A deer is hardly ever facing you, right? It's always, you know, at an angle. Well, what am I doing with a rifle? I'm going to pick it off, you know, from the field using an angle. It's hard to make damage if you're not adjusting out to the sides. Same thing with fighting, you know. What do you see in Muay Thai, wrestling? Everything is always straightforward. You're always trying to go in for the kill. like a rooster fight, a dog fight. Well, you know, if I don't want to climb a straight mountain that's up high and I can go around the mountain, why don't you just do that? You know, learn to move your feet, make fights easier, you know, and that's something that Ronda don't do. She's a flat-footed person. She's a judoka. Edmund Tavera never boxed. He might have done kickboxing.
We're watching a fight right now. He's not looking too good.
I look way better than him.
I mean,
Gee, John Guerra looked way better than him.
You know, some people say, well, man, she needs to go to ATT. Well, you know what, man? She needs to go to somebody who knows how to make fighters. ATT, who have they ever made?
They buy a lot.
They've never made one of those guys from childhood.
They buy them. They do good.
They take people, like we said last time, they pluck people out of gyms all the time.
Yep.
You know, I think what's going to change a lot in the landscape of this sport is some of these smaller gyms. Like, look at Calvin Gastelum. He's from a small gym in Yuma, Arizona. Things are going to change like that. I've been out to AMC before. I mean, Matt Hume's made a lot of guys on his own.
Yes. He's one of the pioneers of the sport.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely, and that's a great path to follow if you're one of the small gym owners, you know, a guy like that. You know, model yourself after something like that. You know, build your own.
Right.
Take them to the top. It's possible.
Not to change the
subject,
subject
or
too much, but what do you think the future for Ronda is? Do you think she fights again?
No.
You don't think so? I think she's gonna stay with the movies.
No. Well, if she even has that left, I mean,
right.
She may not want to be here
out
with us no more either. You know,
she should do a Rocky movie.
I mean, she may have that mentality of, I may not want to be here on planet Earth no more. I mean, I hope she doesn't think that way, but
yeah,
it's sad. Some
After
people get
time,
that way. Yeah. They need sports psychologists. That's a weak person.
What do you think?
You know, I got knocked out 1 week before, and I came back and fought the next week. That doesn't mean you got to do something stupid like I did, but shit, at least I had the balls to get up and go do it again.
Right.
That's
probably
a fighter's mentality.
Not
guys.
so healthy for you. I don't think they let you do that stuff anymore.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Suspension.
But at least I could say, you know what? For me, I got to do that.
Hell yeah.
And I could sleep peacefully every night. But like you're saying, Jeff, you know, they don't let us do that crazy stuff no more. But look, you don't go disappear for a year and think you're going to come back and beat this other chick. Like, come on, and then be with the same dude? Like, no, that don't work.
Do you believe in ring rust? Do you think she had ring rust? Do you believe in that or no?
No, I don't believe in ring rust. I believe in bad coaching and weak-minded athletes. That's what I believe.
I like to hear the sound of that because I think I'm coming back and I don't want to have no ring rust. But I'm not weak, so I don't think there is such a thing.
Nah, Caveman, you're a warrior.
Jeff, you know what, man? I don't believe in ring rust either, but you know what? If you want to come down and put some more tools in your box, come on over, man.
All right.
I got some really cool stuff to work with, and I think you'll enjoy it.
You know it. All right, one last question. We'll get out of here. What do you think about the future of Amanda Nunes? Who beats her? Anybody? She stay a champion for a long time, especially with the new 145-pound weight class.
I don't know, man. Armando Nunes is pretty tough.
You think Tate comes out of retirement, tries to fight her again?
No, Armando Nunes is a tough dude.
Yeah, don't he got long arms?
You guys finally got that.
I just thought you were saying the name wrong, man. I finally got what you were saying.
They need to test that person for HGH, man. Look at that jawline.
What do you think?
I don't care about your sexuality or whatever. That's your own business. But man, come on. Like, I've been around this sport long enough. I'm not stupid.
If she pops hot, does it change how you feel about this fight?
You know, Dana White will look for any angle to get Ronda back in there. Money.
Right.
Yeah.
Money. I don't know. I think I thought Ronda just had a bad game plan. She was able to get her hands on her twice and couldn't do anything with it. She needs to develop some wrestling as well.
Yeah, she needs
to come back.
I was thinking the same thing. She didn't shoot or nothing like that.
No.
And I look at her.
Well, Ronda doesn't have a good shot for one.
Yeah.
Right.
She's got a good tie up and throw, and she couldn't use her hands or her movement like I was talking about earlier. You know, if you can't go up the mountain, go to the side of it. You know, you could land some nice takedowns. T.J. Dillashaw showed.
Hell yeah.
With movement.
Cruz too.
You know what I mean?
Those guys,
Cruz too.
Those guys they just made that whole movement style of the takedown. It looks so good. That's the wave of takedowns in the future, I think. They're not going to see too many more blast doubles. the guys are both going to be super athletic.
No.
It's going to be lots of scrambles in that kind of situation.
It's going to change some, but, like it's going to be, only the strong is going to survive, evolution.
Awesome. Yep. I think we're going to get out of here now. We're going to...
Oh.
He's watching the Emmett fight still. Ray's been totally distracted for the last 5 minutes. At least he didn't lock himself out of the studio this time, like last time.
I know.
Ray, here's the homework I got you to do. Go Google Count Chocula's fights.
That's what he's doing right now.
Yeah.
Go Google it. Yeah, are you doing that right now?
Yeah, that's what he's been doing like the last 7 minutes. He's been watching him fight.
Now, what do you think, Ray?
I think he's trash.
I told you. I told you.
Ray's calling him out.
Yeah, I'm coming back to fight him.
Yeah, you should fight him.
We're doing open weight.
Open weight.
Old school.
Old school, yeah.
Well, there you go. Theory proven that guy is horrible.
All right, on that note, we're going to get out of here with some Mexican music for you. Don't try and jump over any walls that Trump's building. You might not like what happens.
Viva Ray Arias.
All right, fight fans.
All right, guys.
Thanks for listening to Caveman's Corner, and we're out.
Over here.
Peace out, guys.
All right, you have a good one, man.
Too many Coronas for Ray. He didn't even get into the bomb yet. All right, we're out.